A very good morning to all of you. You're watching Breakfast News. My name is Aditi Nagpal. Let's get the news rolling with the headlines first. 38 union ministers to visit Jammu and Kashmir from today. PM Modi tells them to focus on rural areas in spreading awareness about government policies. Rallies across country in support of Citizenship Amendment Act. Home Minister Amit Shah to address public meeting in Karnataka today. Global alert as deadly novel virus spreads in China. New Delhi issues travel advisory for citizens visiting China. Thermal scanners deployed at airports. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu suggests inclusion of biographies of heroes of freedom struggle in school textbooks, urges legislators to visit Andaman Nicobar Islands and Cellular jail. India beat Australia by 36 runs in the second ODI in Rajkot. Level series 1-1. Final ODI of the series to be played in Bengaluru on Sunday. "38 central ministers will visit Jammu and Kashmir beginning today. The ministers will visit 60 different locations on different days in both the divisions of Jammu and Kashmir till 24th of this month. There will be 51 visits to Jammu and 8 to Srinagar, and Home Ministry is coordinating the visit. The objective of the visit is to spread information about the importance of the centre's policies for the overall development of the Union Territory and its people, along with steps taken by the government. Union Minister Smriti Irani will visit Katra and Panthal areas of Riashi district on January 19th, while on the same day, Union Minister Piyush Goyal will be in Srinagar. Whereas Minister of State for Home G. Kishan Reddy will be in Ganderbal on January 22nd and Maningam on January 23rd. Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad will visit Sopore in Baramulla district on 24th January. Besides them, Union Ministers Anurag Thakur, Kiran Rijiju, V.K. Singh, Giriraj Singh, Prahlad Joshi, Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank, R.K. Singh, Shripad Nayak and Jitendra Singh are among other ministers who will visit different districts during this period.
जो सरकारी विभागों से पिछले 6 महीने में विकास हुआ है, उसी के कार्यक्रम के लिए जा रहे मंत्री जी। अभी तक बर्फ था बहुत ज़्यादा, इसलिए अभी तक 2 महीने में नहीं गए थे। जैसे मेरे विभाग में कारगिल और लद्दाख का रेडियो का केंद्र तैयार है, मैं जाऊंगा तो उसका उद्घाटन करूंगा। तो इस तरह से काम हो रहा है।
According to sources, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has told the group of union ministers visiting Jammu and Kashmir to spread the message of development among the people, not only in the urban areas, but also in the villages of the valley. A concession agreement for completing the 6.5-kilometer long Z-More tunnel in Jammu and Kashmir was signed in New Delhi on Friday. Under the agreement, the 2-lane bi-directional tunnel with parallel escape tunnel will be completed in 3.5 years at a cost of 2,379 crore rupees. The project includes construction, operation and maintenance of the tunnel with approaches on NH1 at Srinagar Sonmarg Gumri Road. Z-More tunnel will provide all-weather road connectivity to Sonmarg tourist spot in Jammu and Kashmir. It mostly remains closed during the winters due to heavy snowfall in Gagangar area. The pact between NHIDCL and APCO Amarnathji Tunnelway was signed in the presence of Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari. European Union High Representative Joseph Borrell Fontelles on Friday called on Prime Minister Narendra Modi During the interaction, the Prime Minister said India and EU were natural partners and he was looking forward to a productive India-EU summit in March 2020. A statement from PMO said Modi reiterated India's commitment to deepen the engagement with the EU, particularly in the fields of climate change and trade and economic relations. The Prime Minister also recalled his earlier interactions with leadership of European Commission and European Council. Home Minister Amit Shah will visit Karnataka today as part of the party's outreach program on Citizenship Amendment Act. Shah will visit Hubli, where he will address a rally on the CAA at Nehru Maidan. Union Minister Prahlad Joshi said, "We are expecting a gathering of about 1 lakh people during the rally." Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa will also be reportedly present during the rally. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla addressed delegates at the closing ceremony of the 7th Commonwealth Parliamentary Association India Region Conference on Friday. Addressing the concluding session, the Speaker said that along with raising the level of discussion on budget proposals, it was also important to enhance the capacity of public representatives. He said that elective representatives, right from Gram Panchayats to those of Parliament, have been assigned different responsibilities. For capacity building, such conferences need to be organized regularly.
बजट प्रस्तावों पर समीक्षा के साथ जनप्रतिनिधियों की क्षमता को बढ़ाना, क्योंकि आज जब बजट पर चर्चा होती है, चाहे वो विधान मंडल में हो, चाहे संसद के सदनों में हो, हमें उन चर्चा के स्तर को उठाने की आवश्यकता है। बजट संसदीय प्रक्रियाओं का सबसे महत्वपूर्ण हिस्सा है। बजट विधानमंडल में उस राज्य के नियति दिशा दशा को तय करता है, संसद के अंदर देश की दिशा को तय करता है। इसलिए बजट प्रस्तावों पर चर्चा करते समय हमारे सभी जनप्रतिनिधियों की सक्रिय भागीदारी होना चाहिए। बजट पर जितना गंभीर अध्ययन होगा, उतनी ही सदनों के अंदर सार्थक चर्चा होगी और सार्थक चर्चा का परिणाम यह होगा कि हम जनता को जो डिलीवरी देना चाहते हैं वो ठीक से कर पाएंगे।
Uttar Pradesh Governor Anandiben Patel also addressed the gathering and said that the role of public representatives have evolved as people's expectations from them increase. In such a scenario, public representatives should give priority to solving the problems of the general public.
जनप्रतिनिधियों की भूमिका में बदलाव स्वाभाविक रूप से आया है। सदन में तथा सदन के बाहर उनके कार्यों के आधार पर उनकी परख होती है। उनसे अपेक्षा की जाती है कि वे सामाजिक समस्याओं को समझें और विधानमंडलों एवं संसद के माध्यम से उनके निवारण में अग्रणी भूमिका निभाएं। विधायी संस्थाओं के जनप्रतिनिधि के रूप में यह आवश्यक है कि वे संसदीय परंपराओं, नियमों तथा प्रक्रियाओं का इस तरह से संसदीय जीवन में प्रयोग करें जिससे विकास कार्य तथा जनता का कल्याण हो सके।
Minority Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi also delivered the keynote address on enhancing focus of legislators on legislative business.
हमारा जो आचरण है, हम क्या कर रहे हैं वो इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं, हमारा आचरण जो है वो सीधे लोगों की स्क्रूटनी में है। लोग उसका जो है वो आकलन कर रहे हैं, उसकी स्क्रूटनी कर रहे हैं। कभी कभी लगता है कि साहब हम असेंबली को जो है वो 1 घंटे के लिए, आधे घंटे के लिए हमने एडजर्न करा दिया, पार्लियामेंट को हमने आधे घंटे के लिए एडजर्न करा दिया तो कोई बहुत बड़ा कमाल हुआ। ऐसा होता नहीं है। आपने वो आधे घंटे का समय जो एडजर्न किया, आप आधे घंटे अपनी बात को मजबूती के साथ रख सकते थे। हो सकता है कि वो उस समय जो है वो कोई त्वरित मुद्दे पर डिस्कशन ना हो रहा हो, लेकिन जो है वो किसी बिल पे भी डिस्कस हो रहा है, तो अगर आप विपक्ष में हैं तो आप सरकार के उन कमियों के प्रति उनको आगाह भी कर सकते हैं, सुझाव भी दे सकते हैं।
The BJP on Friday released its first list of 57 candidates for the upcoming Delhi Assembly elections. The party has fielded sitting MLA Vijender Gupta and former mayors Ravinder Gupta and Yogendra Chandolia, along with former AAP MLA Kapil Mishra. BJP, however, did not name its candidate against AAP leader and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal in its first list.
पूर्ण विश्वास के साथ ये विजेताओं की टीम है और हम पूर्ण बहुमत से ये 2020 का विधानसभा जीतने की तरफ अग्रसर हैं। हम बहुत पॉजिटिव एजेंडा पे आगे बढ़ रहे हैं और केंद्र सरकार के द्वारा किए गए कार्यों को दिल्ली के हर घर तक पहुंचाकर हम अपना परिचय देंगे और दिल्ली में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार बनेगी।
A total of 48 fresh nominations were filed on Friday by 36 candidates belonging to the AAP, Janata Dal United and BSP among others. Senior AAP leader Atishi and several other members of the party filed their nominations ahead of the February 8th assembly polls. The last date to file nominations is 21st January and the scrutiny will happen on 22nd January. The last date of withdrawal of candidature is January 24th. The counting of votes will take place on February 11th. The nominations for the election to the post of the BJP national president will be filed on 20th of January. BJP announced on Friday polling, if required, will take place on 21st Jan. Senior BJP leader Radha Mohan Singh, who is in charge of the organizational election process, announced the schedule after the party's internal poll exercise was completed in 21 of the BJP's 36 state and union territory units. Delhi's Patiala House Court on Friday issued a fresh death warrant against the 4 convicts in the Nirbhaya gang rape and murder case. February 1st has now been fixed as a new date for their execution. The 4 convicts were slated to be hanged on 22nd Jan. The execution was put on hold after convict Mukesh Singh filed a plea seeking postponement of his execution. Meanwhile, President Ramnath Kovind has also rejected Mukesh Singh's mercy plea. The rejection came after the Union Home Ministry forwarded the petition to his office late on Thursday night. With this, we'll halt in for a quick break, but we'll be back soon. Stay tuned with us.
BS6 or Bharat Stage 6 is the new emission standard that all vehicles in the country will have to adhere to from April 1st, 2020.
BS6 fuel and the vehicles, irrespective of the usage, must come to the country because country cannot afford this polluting atmosphere.
You are aligning 3 things. You are aligning production, you are aligning the vendor base, and you are aligning the oil companies. And then the 4th part, which is very important, is customer education. I still believe there are a lot of misconceptions.
Both the refineries have to work for better quality fuel. The automobile companies have to work for new technology. So therefore, both have to be ready. Then only we can have cleaner, atmosphere.
The budget we have on science has actually not changed at all as a percentage of the gross national product. It has remained about oscillating between 0.7 and 0.8%, or I don't know how many years, decades. several decades, it has not changed. Of course, the GNP has changed, and therefore, to that extent, the money is also more. But it's nowhere near what the United States, Europe, South Korea, the Chinese, the Japanese spend. Now, if you don't spend that money, you will not be able to get to that league very fast. So I do think that that has to change.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
What are some key legislations introduced in Rajya Sabha? Some of the key legislations introduced in Rajya Sabha are the Hindu Marriage and Divorce Bill 1952, the Hindu Succession Bill 1954, the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Bill 1969.
Welcome back. You're still with us on Breakfast News. Vice President Venkaiah Naidu on Friday paid homage to freedom fighter Veer Savarkar in Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Addressing a reception held in his honor by Port Blair Municipal Corporation, he said that the historical role of the Cellular jail in the freedom movement should form part of history textbooks. He also called for inclusion of life stories of Veer Savarkar and other heroes of the freedom struggle in school textbooks. He urged all members of parliament, MLAs and MLCs from across the country to visit the Cellular jail.
The life and stories of not only Veer Savarkarji and other heroes of freedom struggle from different parts of the country should be included in school textbooks so that the younger generation, they get the needed inspiration. They know the stories of horror, the sacrifice made by our leaders for the sake of the country. Around 690 prisoners from Bengal, from Punjab, from Maharashtra, from southern states of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and also Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh, and also from various parts of the country. They were all brought here, hundreds of miles away, where there is no scope to escape, no hope, no ray of hope even to escape. The historical stories and also the role of the Cellular jail in Andaman in the freedom movement should also form a part of history book textbooks. And I feel that all the youngsters of the country, particularly the children, once in their lifetime must visit Andaman Nicobar and see this Cellular jail.
Vice President Naidu also inaugurated the Nature Park and Interpretation Centre in Port Blair in the picturesque Andaman and Nicobar Islands today. During his visit, he released butterflies and went around the butterfly conservatory at the park.
The Andaman and Nicobar Islands have around 300 butterfly species. 207 are endemic to the region. Inaugurated by the Vice President, the walk-in butterfly conservatory, in addition to being a place for recreation, provides an understanding of the biotic and abiotic factors that play a role in the life cycle of a butterfly.
It is interesting to note that more than 300 species of butterflies are found in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, of which 207 species are endemic to these islands. The walk-in butterfly conservatory in the National Interpretation Centre could not just increase the joy of visitors but also create greater awareness among public about the ecological importance and the life cycle of these beautiful insects.
The Vice President also visited the orchid and fern house at the nature park that showcases the habitat of the tropical orchids. He also appreciated the wooden sculpture of a mother and child made out of the trunk of a single paduk tree. The sculpture represents nature as a mother who lovingly nurtures all her creations. The Nicobar Islands feature among the biodiversity hotspots of the world. These islands were declared as the World Biosphere Reserve in 2013 by the United Nations. The Vice President praised the Andaman administration for taking steps for conservation, like imposing a complete ban of single-use plastics, installing water ATMs in important tourist destinations, and replacing all conventional street lights with LED lamps.
The Andaman Nicobar Islands feature among the biodiversity hotspots of the world. They harbor rich terrestrial as well as marine ecosystems, including mangroves, seagrass beds, and coral reefs. This natural beauty makes Andaman Nicobar Island a very popular tourist destination. But we must ensure that the influx of tourists does not endanger the fragile ecosystem and rare flora and fauna of the region. Towards this end, I am happy to have inaugurated today the Nature Park Interpretation Center in Port Blair today. This will serve as an important center for recreation and education, showcasing the richness of biodiversity of these islands. The Nature Park and Interpretation Center is displaying native trees, palms, orchids, ferns, medicinal plants, aquatic plants, and butterflies for the benefit of visitors.
The Vice President also emphasized the need to observe the flora and fauna in their natural environment and cause as little disruption as possible. He hoped that through its dedicated conservation initiatives, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands will serve as a model for sustainable tourism for the rest of the nation in the time to come. Rajkamal Rao's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Government on Friday issued an advisory for Indians travelling from China, especially from Wuhan, following the outbreak of a new virus that has claimed the life of 2 persons and infected dozens of others in China. The Union Health Ministry has instructed screening of travellers from the neighbouring country at Delhi, Mumbai and Kolkata airports using thermal scanners. More than 500 Indian students studying in Wuhan, mostly in medical universities in and around the city. The government has issued a travel advisory asking citizens travelling to and from China to follow certain precautionary measures. It stated that as on January 11th, as many as 41 confirmed cases of the infection by a novel coronavirus have been reported in China. And now let's talk about environment and climate change. A report of the World Economic Forum says that top 5 long-term risks facing the world are related to the environment. These risks include failure of climate change mitigation and adaptation, weapons of mass destruction, water crisis, major biodiversity loss, man-made environmental crisis, and extreme weather events like floods, storms, among others. It's the only time in the survey's 14-year history that climate-related concerns took all top spots. The report also says results of climate inaction are becoming increasingly clear worldwide. The accelerating pace of biodiversity loss is a particular concern. Nine candidates have scored a perfect 100 in the joint entrance exam mains. The result of JEE Mains were announced on Friday by the HRD Ministry's National Testing Agency. The toppers for the engineering entrance exam include Delhi boy Nishant Agarwal. Others are from Gujarat, Haryana, Andhra, Rajasthan and Telangana. A total of 8.69 lakh students had appeared for the exam conducted in 6 shifts from January 7th to 9th. While JEE Mains is conducted for admission to engineering colleges across the country. Wrestler Vinesh Phogat won her first gold medal at Rome Ranking Series event on Friday. Vinesh downed two tough Chinese rivals on her way to the 53 kg gold medal bout, in which she's overpowered Ecuador's Luisa Elizabeth Valverde 4-0. Meanwhile, teen sensation Anshu Malik settled for a silver medal in 57 kg competition. Meanwhile, in cricket, India defeated Australia by 36 runs in the second ODI match series at Rajkot on Friday. India has now levelled the three-match series 1-1 after losing the first game by 10 wickets in Mumbai. Chasing 341, Indian bowlers dismantled the Australian batting unit and bundled out the visitors at 304. KL Rahul was declared player of the match. For India, Mohammad Shami was the most successful Indian bowler with 3 for 77, while Kuldeep Yadav, Ravindra Jadeja and Navdeep Saini took 2 wickets each. The third and final ODI will be played in Bengaluru on Sunday. Former Indian all-rounder Bapu Nadkarni passed away on Friday. Nadkarni, 86, died following old age-related illness. He played 41 test matches for India and was best known for his parsimonious left-arm spin bowling and ability to get maiden overs at will, including 21 consecutive ones against England in a test match in Chennai. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu paid tribute to Bapu. In a tweet, he said, deeply saddened to learn about the demise of Bapu. He added Nadkarni will be best remembered for bowling 21 consecutive maiden overs against England in a test match in Chennai. Sachin Tendulkar also offered tribute to Bapu. He said, very sad to hear about the demise of Bapu. And before we wrap the bulletin, let's take a look at the weather conditions in major cities of the country.